The difference between winners and losers, Brian Tracy. The crossroads. 3 years after almost losing everything. Ethan Cole stood at another critical point in his entrepreneurial journey. Grounded Coffee wasn't just a cafe anymore. It was a brand. The subscription box was thriving, the YouTube channel had tens of thousands of subscribers, and the Brew Bold podcast was catching fire among young entrepreneurs. From the outside, Ethan had made it. But inside, something was shifting again. He felt it one morning, sitting in his new office, a converted loft above the original cafe. His team was growing fast, his days were packed with meetings, and his calendar had become a battlefield. It wasn't burnout, wasn't fear. It was something deeper, complacency. He looked around at the awards, the vision boards, the revenue charts, and he heard an inner whisper. Winners keep growing. Losers get comfortable. Off a book that had sat on his shelf for years but never been opened, the title glared back at him like a spotlight. Eat That Frog by Brian Tracy. It was time to level up again. Chapter 1. Winners take responsibility. The first thing Brian Tracy teaches is simple. Winners accept 100% responsibility for their lives. Losers blame circumstances. Ethan knew this lesson. He had lived it when things fell apart before. But success has a sneaky way of making you soft. He realized he had begun outsourcing decisions, blaming the market, making excuses for why some projects had stalled. So he sat down and asked the hard questions. Why haven't we launched that new product line? Why is our customer service slipping? Why did I skip my morning routine again? The answer to all of them, that hurt. But it also liberated him, because if he was the problem, then he could be the solution. Chapter 2. Losers focus on pleasure. Winners focus on discipline. Ethan had always prided himself on his hustle, but Brian Tracy's words cut deep. Difference between successful people and failures is that successful people develop the habit of doing the things that failures don't like to do. He made a list of everything he had been avoiding, calling underperforming team members for feedback, analyzing financial reports line by line, recording the long-form podcast episodes, hiring a proper CFO. Oche of these tasks was his frog. The hard, uncomfortable, high-leverage things that would move the business forward. So he created a new rule. Do the hard thing first. Every day, within a week, Ethan saw massive results. Not in money, not yet, but in energy. Clarity, momentum. That's what discipline does. Chapter 3. Winners set goals. Losers drift. Brian Tracy teaches that all successful people are intensely goal-oriented. So, Ethan pulled out a fresh notebook. On the front cover, he wrote, Winner's Plan. Inside, quote down. Goal 1. Triple online subscribers in 12 months. Goal 2. Launch grounded mindset. Journal and productivity kit. Goal 3. Scale podcast to 100,000 monthly listeners. Goal 4. Take 1 7-day unplugged vacation with no phone under each goal. He wrote, Why does this matter? Who must I become to achieve it? What daily actions will move the needle? Every morning, Ethan reviewed those goals. Every night, he rated his performance. Winner's plan. Losers wing it. Ethan stopped winging it. Chapter 4. Losers wait, winners execute. 1. Day Maria, his marketing head, walked in with an idea for a new campaign. A short-form video series on mindset myths using coffee metaphors. Ethan loved it. Then he paused. The old Ethan might have said, Great, let's think on it. But winners don't think forever. They act. He stood up and said, Let's film the first one in an hour. No script, no fancy gear, just movement. It wasn't perfect, but it was real. They filmed 10 videos in 2 days, posted them the next. Week 1 went viral. You don't need motivation. You need a system. It reached 1.2 million views in 5 days. Speed 1 chapter. 5. Winners learn. Losers complain. The market started shifting. A bigger competitor launched a nearly identical subscription box. Their ads were everywhere. Ethan's growth slowed. Some customers jumped ship. For a moment, Ethan was tempted to rage, complain, blame. But then he remembered Tracy's principle. When you complain, you give up control. So instead of lashing out, Ethan scheduled a team meeting. "Let's learn," he said. They analyzed the competitors' packaging, messaging, offer stacks. They even ordered a box to unbox it live on their YouTube. And guess what? They found gaps, weaknesses, missed opportunities. Then they went to work and improved everything. A month later, expectations outperformed all expectations. The customer base not only recovered, doubled. Winners adapt. Chapter 6. Losers. Chase distractions. Winners master focus. Ethan was drowning in opportunity. Book deals, speaking gigs, brand collabs, influencer partnerships, and each one promised growth. But Brian Tracy warned, losers try to do everything. Winners focus on the few things that matter most. So Ethan created a no list. No speaking gigs unless directly tied to subscriber growth. No new product launches until the current campaign hits 90% KP. Is no meetings without clear agendas. He installed time blocking. 2 hours every morning. Deep work only. No phone. No email. The results: productivity doubled. Stress levels dropped. Strategic clarity soared. Discipline didn't restrict him. It freed him. Chapter 7. Winners build systems. Losers rely on motivation. Motivation is great until it's gone, that's why. Ethan began shifting the company culture from inspiration to implementation. He asked every team leader, what system are you building? Customer service created a daily FAC template. Content marketing built a 60-day calendar. Fulfillment optimized shipping processes. For himself, Ethan created a weekly CEO checklist. Review KP is 1-to-1 south with team leaders. Study one new concept from a book. Practice priming routine. Audit brand consistency across platforms. Each system made the company stronger, more resilient, less dependent on energy spikes or emotions. Winners build machines. Losers ride roller coasters. Chapter 8. The Winner's Edge. One evening, Ethan was invited to speak at a startup incubator. His talk was simple. No slides, no fancy words, just one truth. The difference between winners and losers isn't talent, luck, or money. It's how they think, how they act, and what they refuse to tolerate. He told the story of the broken cafe, the dusty books, the early mornings, the skipped parties, the cold showers, the awkward videos, the lonely weekends, the hard conversations. And he ended with this: every day you get to choose. Not who you are, but who you're becoming. Be the kind of person who keeps their promises, to the world and to themselves. That's what winners do. The room went quiet, then erupted in applause. Epilogue. Choose the hard path. Ethan now wakes. Up at 5:30 a.m., rain or shine, he still journals, still plans his week on Sundays, still reads Brian Tracy, quotes before big decisions. Not because he's perfect, but because he's decided who he is. A winner not by title, but by habit. So what about you? You putting things off? Are you letting distractions steal your destiny? You waiting for the perfect time? Here's what Brian Tracy would say, and Ethan would echo it. Losers make excuses. Winners make progress. Which will you be? I got the choice is yours. And it starts now.